Okay, again, so this will be the first time, a tip of the iceberg. I'm Jack, I'm here with Ben. We're just going to talk about random bullshit. Participate with chat when they chime in the meantime, you can watch me draw Hulk, and hopefully we have a chuckle along the way. Alright, let's go for it. Okay. Okay. If you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends and family assume you had done?
Well, based on track record.
Fucking die.
God, I don't even know. Like, you probably, like... I'd like to think that the dad wouldn't think that I would get, like, a fucking DUI or something.
Okay.
It would definitely probably be, like...
Oh, definitely alcohol related for me.
Either alcohol related or another fucking...
Or another what?
Like a fucking...
Okay.
Something meager. Like, obviously I wouldn't be
Trying to, like...
committing, like, grand theft or something.
Okay, here's one. How long... Okay, let's assume it was only reliant on, like, your... Well, we'll do it individually. Okay, so start with this one. If you went missing, how long do you think it would be until your dad, like, assumed something was up and you just, like, weren't just neglecting to have a conversation with him?
Well, since they, moved him, I'll probably be...
I feel like it'd take almost a solid month before my dad would be like, alright, something's up.
Yeah, where is Jack?
Where is my son? Okay. What would be the coolest animal to scale up to the size of a horse?
Coolest?
You know, it's kind of objective. Like, what's cool? Like, I can use it to, like, fuck with my enemies kind of cool, or, like, to hang out with. Because, like, if it was to hang out with, I feel like a horse-sized squirrel, although it'd probably fucking ravenously murder you, I think that'd be pretty sweet.
I mean, yeah, that'd be kind of sketch with a...
It'd be kind of fucking... I think it'd be kind of hideous.
I think I'm gonna go for the gold here and pick red panda.
Don't they grow already decently big, though?
Oh, not like a horse.
I guess, okay.
They're like the size of a small, decent-sized dog.
Okay, if you could tame any animal to be like a mount, like to ride around, what would it be? I think if you could mount it, it's kind of cliche because there's like video games that do it and shit. But like, I think having a mountain lion for like a mount,
like if we're talking
awesome.
Realistically, like an animal I can ride that's in this world is
a what? A buffalo?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody's gonna piss with you if you're on a bison.
Who's gonna fuck with someone on a mountain lion? Are you kidding me, dude? Like, okay, yeah, fucking bison's gonna fuck up your new Chevy Silverado, but fuck, cougar's gonna murder your ass. That was I mean, although that was a little naive, because I'm pretty sure a bison would murder you without a moment's hesitation.
I was gonna say.
It'd fuck you right up.
You can escape into a car with a...
Against a cougar, I guess.
The buffalo's going right through the car.
Yeah, the vehicle is not... You're not safe yet.
No. Not until you're, like, flying. Or in a building.
Yeah, unless you're literally...
It's a reasonably smaller size.
Yeah, like in the movies with, like, the T-Rex or something, it's like, can't fit in the log hole. It's kind of how you...
I'm pretty sure the most manly picture alive is a picture of Theodore Roosevelt riding a bull moose across a lake, like
I love those ones. Literally, that dude probably has made so much money off just like the most fucking ridiculous things.
Theodore Roosevelt is the man's man. He is probably... I don't know if there's a manlier man that has ever lived.
I'm pretty sure Theodore Roosevelt would steal your girl and you would thank him for it.
Oh yeah.
I guess what are you gonna do about it?
He'd probably just like... You'd walk in on him with your girl and you'd be like, Oh, thanks, Theodore Roosevelt.
I owe you one, dude.
Glad I have the same taste as you.
It's an honor that you're attracted to the person I date.
Just shoots at you, and he's like, I get it. Okay, I'll eat. Eat any food or anything? A condom? No?
You want some milk? Yeah, you're trying to accommodate Theodore Roosevelt, who is actively cheating on your wife or whatever. Theodore, if you need me to kick her out afterwards, I will.
I'll pay for her cab.
like he's gonna come in, rail your girl, and then be like inconvenience, like, oh, you haven't provided me
Why
transportation.
is she still here?
He's in your house.
Another wench.
Yeah, you're like running an escort service for fucking Theodore Roosevelt out of your own house.
God.
Yeah, that
would be legit.
I don't know if legit's the term I would use. I don't know. I try to think, you know, it sounds pretty fucked up. But like, yeah, I don't know if there'd be anybody that I'd be like, yeah, it's okay, you had sex with my wife. Except for like her ex-boyfriend, you know, who
Except
did
for
it legally.
cuckolds.
What?
Except for cocks.
I don't even really know
When
that.
you get cucked, that means like you let somebody bang your girlfriend in front of you.
Pretty sure that's a fetish, isn't it?
Yep.
I feel like some people are into that shit.
Yeah, probably a decent amount actually.
It's kind of a. I don't know. It's a little fucked up if you really start thinking about it. Like, I don't know. Anyway, enough about that. What inanimate object do you wish you could eliminate from existence? Probably fucking Tamagotchi. The world would be a better place if fucking Tamagotchi wasn't real.
Oh, My Little Pony.
What's fucked up? Oh, hey. Yeah, feel free to join in on this chat shindiggery. So essentially, we're recording our start of a YouTube segment called Tip of the Iceberg, where me and Ben talk about just random shit with my drawing in the background. Chat can feel free to jump in and propose a question that me and Ben will answer as serious as the question merits. Probably more serious than you'd have expected. The question just recently was, what inanimate object you wish you could eliminate from existence? I said I don't want Tamagotchi.
And I said, no, My Little Pony.
Yeah, wait, can I get rid of furries just so there's like, so I can go back to like fucking browsing?
Just the idea of being a...
No, like, cause then I can go back to like browsing actually like art, like, literally, Deviant Art is so fucking odd, cause like it's such a mix between like decent art and then like it's just furry porn. And you're just like, what the fuck am I looking at? It's just like the most uncomfortable community on earth.
Well, it's like those like weird like fetish like the people that will make like, it's not like exactly porn, but it'll be like Naruto and Sasuke, you know.
I mean, that's more just
Very well
like
drawn out comics. I know it's like it's fan fiction, like
yeah, I guess
stuff,
it's like
you know,
it's like homosexual fan fiction, but like.
Well, it's not even like homosexual. Like it's just like random stuff like that. It's like, dude, you're like tainting that. Like
you're fucking ruining it. Yeah, I know.
Like there's like pictures like out there like, oh, like a hyper realistic like SpongeBob, and then it's just like absolute BS, and then it's just like, wow, thanks for slightly pegging down SpongeBob.
I mean, you get a lot of that. Like, pretty much any anime will have that, like the really fucking weird, cringy fan porn or whatever.
I mean, there's a fine line though. I mean, like some of the stuff is obviously.
Well, it's weird because there's always like the bit that like is believable, like two main characters or something that don't never like hook up or something. I guess if you're like, especially depending on the age of the show, you know, like. Not that you need hardcore like fucking hentai in your Dragon Ball Z or anything, but you know. But then you're like, God, wouldn't it be great if Sandy Cheeks and Squidward had sex? And then you just fucking throw up because your childhood is over.
Yeah, in so many different ways. You know, I'm not gonna lie. The official moment I felt that my childhood was over was when I watched
Mitt Romney almost
Harry
won.
Potter's. No, the last Harry Potter movie.
Well, that's weird because we grew up with that. Like that was fucking our wheelhouse.
that was like the official end of our childhood. That was like when we were 8.
It's so weird when my mom bought me that she bought me the first book, right, and I read it and I enjoyed it presumably, and then she just bought me the last one when it came out. She's like, I've been hearing such good like reviews about it. I'm like, Mom, this is the 7th fucking book. Like, you can't just buy me the 7th one. Like, I haven't read the other 6 in between. Like, don't you get how fucking sequels work, Kendra?
7 books. You know the Fantastical Beasts? Like, you watched that movie, right?
It was okay. It just
I thought it was okay, but I think
it leaned a little too heavily on. Like the coolest parts of that were the parts that we already like liked and thought were cool from Harry Potter.
Like the thing is, like if they extend it and like they make it like very like well thought out, and all that jazz. Like, I mean, instead of like just being a fan service.
Yeah, it's kind of how it feels. It literally just feels like J.K. Rowling's like, I could use some more money, please. Yeah, like, okay, it's weird. It's weird because it's the same issue that kind of Star Wars has. It's like the Harry Potter universe is really cool, and I would gladly watch another like unique story in that universe. But you can tell it's just like everything is like little wink, wink, nod, nod. Like I said, it's just fan service, and you're just like, if it just did its own unique story, I think I'd have enjoyed it immensely more.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you boil down like the plot points, like nothing happened. Like
they're having their own Han Solo like standalone series now.
Oh yeah. Well, because Disney has it.
And
Okay. We got a question from chat. Quick. Okay. We can come back to this point later if we bring it up. Okay. What fictional character would be the most boring to meet in real life? I feel like most of the Disney princesses would be really boring.
I feel like they'd be really shallow
or just like, or like that like overtly Catholic chick you always knew in high school who like to the point where like you know like the fact that you even bring up something mildly questionable and they'd be like nope Lord, you'd be like you're not even like, you know, to the point where they're so naive they refuse to like acknowledge that it's a temptation. Like you'd be like, hey, would you ever drink? Like, oh no, Lord doesn't want you to drink. I'm like, okay, but like, what about you? Oh, Lord doesn't want me to. I'm like, no, I don't care what the fucking Lord want you to. Lord doesn't want you to have premarital sex or fucking touch polyester. Like, that's kind of how I feel Disney princesses would be like. It would just be like everything would feel rehearsed when you talk to them. If that makes sense, you know what I'm talking about?
So fictional, yeah, like a fictional character, you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean, if I like to be specific, like
there'd be a fucking lot of them. What is this website?
Yeah.
Website. Is that what I don't know what you. What is this website? This is Twitch. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you, Ben. What were you saying? Boring.
Like, I mean, like you could go like Patrick Star.
Yeah, but see, that's weird because like some fictional characters are like written to be intentionally boring, or like, you know, like a antithesis to like you know, a more interesting character. So I think there's a lot of people.
Yeah, no, but it makes you think because like usually like when there's like a boring character, quote unquote, there's always something that happens to those characters that makes it work.
Well, I also think it's
somehow like Patrick Star is related to Gary. I don't know why. Like it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff. Yeah, Viestine, if you can rephrase that question, maybe I can help answer. All right, next question. Here we go. Okay, here's one. I think of this sometimes myself. In 40 years, what will people be nostalgic for? I'll get to your question next, Alex. Let's answer this one. In 40 years, so like what now do you think people will be all fucking... Yeah, this is a pretty straightforward question. What do you think they'll be nostalgic for? You answer first this time.
Nostalgic? I mean, people are nostalgic, like, about my parents' age and older, like, you know, like, they watch, like, Gunsmoke. They'll see, like, Andy Griffith on TV or what.
Well, I think a lot of, yeah, that's kind of an interesting point. No, it's okay to have joke questions. Don't fry away from that. But I was saying, like, you know what's kind of goofy, and I think about this is, like, most of what's nostalgic is, like, pop culture references, like, you know, like Star Wars, Jurassic Park, like, you know, there's still, like, the the kind of like as seen on TV gadgets. Like if you think of the '80s, you think like Rubik's cube, like ET. But now you see the average trend of movies is like remakes and reboots. Like I don't think anybody's going to be nostalgic for the fucking RoboCop remake. You know, so
well, the thing
it's
is,
kind of
like,
weird.
Like we're living in the age where like technology can't be necessarily nostalgic. Like back in the day, like our parents growing up, like had like when the Ford Mustang paint first came out, or like Pontiac GTO or whatever the hell. Like they had cars and like all sorts of things that were like
new,
an Atari
like
or
so
something.
yeah.
Like
well, I mean, I guess if you see that, like our kind of new thing would be like the rise of social media, if you will. So like the only way I think if
like,
be nostalgic is like if in like
yeah,
like in like 10 or 15 or 30 years down the road, if like Facebook is like outdated as shit or YouTube's not real anymore. So like maybe then we could be like nostalgic towards like YouTubers and all that kind of stuff. So maybe that, but anyway, I don't know. That's kind of
be a different kind of nostalgia. It's not going to be as genuine.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard question because it's hard to judge. It's just the same thing. Like it's hard to judge how impactful something will be until X years down the road. So
nostalgia in itself is honestly like kind of dying.
Well, nostalgia dies with fan service because it's like when you play on nostalgia, you can't have a second wave of nostalgia over the same nostalgic thing. Like when when a 50-year-old or whatever now sees R2-D2 or something in the movie theater, like when he sees it in 30 years, he's not gonna be like, oh, the good old days of Empire Strikes Back and shit. So it's like, I don't know, maybe I didn't articulate the point, but like when everything is fan service, as far as pop culture and movies goes, I don't think you can't have nostalgia again from the same thing. Like if Rubik's cubes like were reintroduced and somehow became popular again in like 2018, I don't think they would still be considered nostalgic, but I don't know.
I guess nostalgia is a knife.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's not a whole lot to be honest.
And again, it's just like
what happens when you're a kid.
Yeah, really, because like when I think about like what's nostalgic from my childhood, it's like I feel like we were one of the last generations, and I guess I'm pretty out of sync with like what fucking kids do, but like we used to run around and hang outside and play like I don't know, pretend kind of sounds gay, like we've been pee touching, but like I just can't imagine kids running around like to their neighbors and just fucking dicking around outside all day. Like I just don't see that anymore. So like I don't.
Yeah, unless they're playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like really like.
Well, and it's kind of accurate. Okay, here we go. This is a heavy one, so we're gonna mix in more goofs after this one. Chat asks: is human nature constant, or is it molded by culture? Can human nature be completely changed by culture or society? I'll take a bite at it here. I think human nature. The core shit, the real deep stuff, is pretty constant, I think. But like the external stuff, I think can be molded by not necessarily maybe culture, but I think the environment in which like you're raised will have a lot to do with it. But like, I think you see like small changes, but I think at the end of the day, people still want to be happy. They still want to eat, and not fucking die. So it's like no matter what changes, our core. The way we go about achieving our happiness or achieving our stability will change, but I think we'll always want the same thing. We'll always want my dad to be proud of me. Just kidding, that's never happening. Anyway, I don't know. It's kind of like I take it.
Okay, phrase the question.
Okay, so if we'll put it down to this: is human nature constant? Or is it molded by culture and society and stuff?
Okay, well, here's the thing.
Uh-oh. Watch out, boys. You're getting on the soapbox.
Oh, it's going to be a pretty high soapbox up there later.
Fucking...
throw
me a rope.
Human nature being constant. I mean, so you see how like people are, how they act nowadays. That's not how they acted with technology.
But that's hard to judge. Okay, I'll let you finish, then I'll interject. But what I'm saying is, like, do you think if people, 20 years ago, if they had the same access to the media that we have, I feel like they'd be the same. Like, if...
Well, that's what I'm saying, but they didn't. So technology is driving us to act
But is it actually changing it, or is it just making different parts of it more?
It's changing it, but the thing is, like, humans aren't at the evolutionary point where if we were like held like in like a starvation like this or whatever, like you would see very scary things. When it comes down to the bare bones, we will still
Well, yeah, I think
survive.
again, yeah, human nature like do some barbaric shit, to survive.
I mean,
You
because
know, to protect your family, to protect
yet.
yourself, yeah, like that, I don't think that'll ever change.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, even when you get down to it, I mean, some probably a decent majority of people, when it comes down to it, like them or other people, they're always going to choose themselves. That's how the body works.
Yeah,
How
the
it should work.
body really. You know what I thought was crazy? I was thinking about this the other day. All right, so like to think that your body can gain like a tolerance, for like alcohol or whatever, which is essentially a poison for your body to be like, okay, I'm getting poisoned really consistently. I'm going to change my body chemistry to account for this constant poisoning, and then to think that it can get so used to being like prepped physically for poison that you can have withdrawals when the poison is taken away. That's like saying you're getting kicked in the shin so often that you have a callus that when you're not getting kicked in the shin starts like fucking killing you. Like that is so crazy. I think like human body is super good at not dying.
Oh yeah. Well, it's very adaptable, which is why we've gotten this far.
Yeah. Okay. I learned about this alcohol tolerance and whatnot. I mean, I think alcohol tolerance is kind of iffy. I think there is a line where you can be like, okay, yeah, this
yeah, but the thing is, the more you drink, like the
I don't think you're not because your body. I don't think your body chemistry is changing so much that you're like, what used to get me to a 0.10 or 0.1 is now only getting me to a 0.4 or 5. I think the effects of it, like psychologically, it's not, or not psychologically, but like you're more used to the feeling of it. So I think that might. I think it's like kind of like placebo. You become more. So like you might continue to act more. Consistently, or as if you hadn't been drinking, but
well, I mean, if you're drinking like constantly for like years, like so, like your liver is going to eventually kind of, it'll get all sorts of issues.
I hope you. Love, are you joining the stream
like,
tonight?
When you drink a lot, like you always get like kind of like red face and.
Okay, love. We can talk about it later.
Oh, you know.
Okay.
You're retaining water when like you like wean yourself off of alcohol. Like you'll notice that like you are visibly a bit skinnier.
Yeah.
We're drinking, and then basically like the whole alcohol tolerance deal. If you drink a lot, like your liver is not feeling any better for it, but like it's how you feel. So like when you drink more, it takes more to get you to like an off feeling. It's like if you smoke a cigarette, like the first like time you smoke a cigarette, like you're buzzed off your ass, but then you're gonna keep on needing more to get like at least even a similar feeling. But like then,
you can never beat
really
the first
enough.
high. I think alcohol is probably one of the few things where you can accurately simulate the first time. You probably can't simulate the nostalgia again, but like if you think about like, I don't think your body adapts to alcohol the same way it would like. And maybe it is a lot of nostalgia, but like I just feel like if you look at like testimonials of like heroin users or some shit, like they always are constantly chasing to get to that same level of euphoria from their first time. But like I feel like getting drunk is like kind of the same almost every time. Obviously the amount you need to get there can change, but like once, like I don't feel I've ever been like, gosh, I can't get that drunk ever again. Like I can't achieve those levels. But like,
oh yeah,
I don't know. All right, if you had a boat, what would you name it? I don't know. Probably Lady Wet or something. It'd be something stupid as shit.
Lady Wet. And Coral Grinder.
The fucking Reef Destroyer. The Whale Butcher. What? Yeah, I will. Before I go to bed. Okay, If you could bend any of the elements from Avatar, which would you choose and why? Dude, earthbending would be cool as shit. Is it the most practical? Probably not. But it's got cool factor 5,000.
A can for me?
Yeah. We have a can opener.
Yeah.
What element would you bend?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd probably go with
I'd be the Avatar. I'd bend them all.
I mean,
Fuck you.
it'd probably be for me probably either Earth is fire and water. I mean,
I think what? Unless it's Pokemon, I don't give a shit. Water. Like, I don't think there's ever been a... Like, even fucking Power Rangers to agree. I don't think I've ever... I don't know if identified is the appropriate word, but, like, I don't think I've ever cared about, like, anybody who conquers the element of water. I think it's kind of... Ginsy, I guess.
well, to be fair, I mean, like, we're talking about here. Rowgator was like my Gen 2.
Oh, dude, like I said, Pokemon is the only exception. I always had the water starter in Pokemon. Except for Gen 3, because Mudkip or whatever was fucking stupid.
I had the Skip.
I was like the first grass starter that was, like, almost viable. But no, like I said, the second one, well, Chikorita, no, Bayleaf. No, that was the last one. Yeah, it was Chikorita, Bayleaf, Magnium for the second gen. And that chick sucked ass, too. Or dude, or whatever.
I mean, I had that one, but I was up.
I don't know. Feraligatr just I don't know. It's like the first two generations, the water starter was just so good. It's hard to justify not carrying him.
I mean, the only people that justify it is the people that have Archons. Which is fair. He's a dragon, but technically.
The human body is more like 90% water. You could control people. Yeah, I could also control people by fucking making the ground underneath them just swallow them.
I mean, are you really going to be able to control them on the molecular level, or are you just going to be able to, like...
Yeah, you can pretty much... Yeah, you could kill them. You could pretty much murder them instantly, horrifically, by extracting their blood.
Dehydrate somebody.
But, yeah, it's not like you can, like, control
At that point,
their, like, brain
synapses.
synapses.
Like Cell from Dragon Ball Z.
Is that what
just
he
suck
did?
out a shit out of everybody.
He just sucks out their, like, DNA, right?
He just sucks out, like, all, like, everything. Not bone. He might even suck out bone, I don't know, because they, like, I remember watching that growing up, and, like, it was just, like, piles of, like, human skin and that. Sometimes it...
Instant PTSD.
Worry. Traumatizing. I remember one thing that was always nostalgic to me. Like, I remember I saw it like on a what was Tsunami? I saw it on Tsunami because they used to do music videos in between shows. Sometimes. The first time I saw One More Time by Daft Punk, I thought it was a show because it was an.
Once you guys' music videos don't become real anymore.
But like the music video is like anime. Like, so I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
Hentai?
Yeah, I like them. Like the music video for that is really good. I like it. And I can't remember what Gundam was. I remember watching it as a kid, and like
Gundam Wing was like the first like Japanese like mecha porn.
Didn't they just have a like recently like a mech battle in the U.S. and it was like
I thought they
badly staged.
Yeah, that's like some of that shit. I'm sure is astronomically cool to see in person, but you can't really televise it. Like it's not really a spectator. It's not like a televised spectator event. Like I'm sure being there, being drunk and just hooting and hollering as two giant robots just punch the shit out of each other, even if it is clunky and terrible, I'll bet you it's awesome. But yeah, I can't. I just don't imagine it translating well in like the, on like TV.
I don't know if you ever watched it as a kid growing up, but there was this show. I can't remember what TV show. It might have been like History Channel or something like that, or TLC or whatever. It was a junkyard wars, and like these people, like there was like two teams pitted against each other, and they literally had like a junkyard to pull stuff out of and make something work, or like do like a task. You could only use the parts within their tool. It ran for a few seasons, and it was It was pretty interesting.
There's one show, the show that I think dropped the ball the worst I've ever seen is, you remember the show like The Colony, where like they put like 10 different like trade workers, like an engineer, an electrician, a plumber, and they just send them on, like, obviously it was staged a little bit with the shit, and they literally just threw them into like this empty warehouse with all this kinds of shit, and they're like, essentially see how civilized you can get. Can you make a generator? Can you have electricity? Can you charge some batteries? Like obviously, I think it was really hard to execute, like, you know, after they've been established, you know, because they tried to pretend like raiders would come and ship, like, in real life they would just fucking murder you, you know. In here they like hoot and holler and they'd leave, but like it was such a cool idea. It was such a cool idea. I wish it could have been. And I don't know. I don't have a cure for how they could have executed it better, but it was
Maybe
really.
They should have made it real instead of like.
You can't just actually have people getting fucking murdered.
It's reality TV. No, I'm not. Like they go out and just kill the people, fucking raiders and shit. I'm saying like maybe make it legit. Unlike Bear Grylls, who always goes back to his camp filming a little bit.
You know, even though Bear Grylls is a hack fraud, I still like that better than Man vs. Wild.
Yeah, but does he really need to drink his piss? Does he really have to do that?
By the way,
okay, he's a legit like British Special Forces, so I give him that.
Yeah, I feel like he's qualified, but he definitely hams it up.
I mean,
by the way,
yeah,
the drawing
like,
is super sick. Nice work, thanks, man. All right, let's get to another one here. What is the weirdest thing you've seen in somebody else's home?
Weirdest thing?
I don't know. I think we saw Tanner's mom's dildo once. I think that's probably the. I don't know, like.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I don't think shit's like that weird. I don't know. I'm not weird. I'm pretty accepting. Like, I went into this Hindu dude's home and there's like all the shrines and shit. I'm like, it didn't really weird me out because I know that's like, you know, his religion
That's
and
normal
shit.
to
So,
them.
yeah, it'd have been weird if I came home and my mom had one, but yeah, I think it's something that I just didn't expect to any capacity is accidentally stumbling across our friend's mom's dildo. That was something we didn't need to see.
I remember.
You were pretty young then. I bet you we barely knew what it was.
No, I went to I was in my dorm floor freshman year at Point, and these Asian people are like, you know, like they always would just hang out together and hang out with anybody. And then one night I was like walking past the room and their door was open, and there was like, you know, like a water jug that like, you know, like you would like a water cooler at like a workplace or. It was turned upside down, so like the opening was facing towards the ceiling, and it was 3/4 full of piss. And their room smelled so bad.
I don't want to sound racist, but I lived on the foreign exchange floor my sophomore year, and it fucking reeked. It was so bad. I'm just like, you're like.
We had a lot of
I just don't get
exchange people from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, we had a lot of Chinese for some reason. I don't really know why.
They did not
Stout
give
was
a
a
fuck
good.
at all.
Well, like
Like,
I said,
they would take dumps. They would take dumps in the bathroom and smoke cigarettes. They would smoke cigarettes while they're showering.
how do you smoke a cigarette while you're showering?
I don't know. And one of them took a dump down a drain, and that was really.
We had an issue with that. I remember the meeting very well. So for ours, like we had like X amount of damage that was covered before we had to fork up extra. And one of the like if there was ever a charge, it was like posted in like the communal space. And one of the charges was we had to bring in special cleaners to clean the shit out of the shower. Like someone was just shitting in the shower. I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like, the fuck is this a Vietnamese prison? Like, why are people just pooping in the shower? There's a toilet like 5 feet away. I don't know, but
It's pretty gross.
Oh yeah, it's just fucking disgusting. And like the issue is it didn't specify. It's not like the second shower from the left, so I could be like, okay, I'm gonna make sure that I never, ever, ever go into that shower again. Like I know I'd showered in every one of those showers, so I'm like, at some point, I was in the shower that someone shit onto the ground.
You know, like, and I know there's like counter arguments. Like they always like recommended that you wear like shower shoes or whatever in there, and I was like,
isn't that so you don't get like the fucking worst athlete's foot known to mankind?
well, yeah, but you're like sloshing around in the water there anyway, so
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not. It's kind of like a.
it's not doing anything unless you're wearing legitimate shower shoes.
Yeah, like those weird ass things that, like yeah, like the ones that super virgins wear to like the river, like the full closed water shoe.
To be fair, I kind of do like those when they're like.
Oh no, and like I said, it's double. It's such a double standard because they're fucking awesome. Like every time I see one, I'm like, shit, I really wish I had those. But
Yeah, because then you like, it'll be like the one time you step on like a super jagged rock and cut your foot in half.
Freak like a bitch in the middle of the pool. Okay, here we
All
go.
those crayfish that one time. Like, could have used that.
Okay, here's one. This is another like this one kind of reminds me of the same mistake. Okay, would you rather die saving 5,000 people but nobody knows you did it, or live but everyone knows you could have saved 5,000 people and didn't? I would definitely save 5,000 people even if nobody knows because it's the right thing to do. No, like really, like objectively, I think if I knew that, if it was like. If someone's just like, I'm going to shoot you, and I said no, and then they're like, oh, you could have saved these 5,000. If I knew that my death was directly going to save those 5,000 people, I would do it. And like, if people found out you did it, like, sacrifice yourself for the 5,000 people, not only would you be the single most hated person in the world, like, I'm sure there would be some degree of the culture that would, like, understand, but, like, all 5,000 of those people, assuming they're not, like, let's just say it's a random, pull from the entire world, like, that's going to be, like, at least a couple thousand families that are here to fucking probably just kill you. So you're probably going to get murdered.
Yeah, but what if you choose...
What?
What if you had a chance to save 5,000 people, you didn't, you regretted it in another situation where it happened? Like, would you be considered even in the eyes of society, or would they still hold that, like, one time you did?
So you're saying if the first time I'm like, nope, sorry, 5,000 people are gonna die, and then a second time came up and I'm like, okay, now I'll sacrifice myself. Would society be like, all right, you're even? We'll stop egging your house and like harassing your family.
Yeah, they'd probably lean towards the
Oh yeah. It would be a fight. Who's more grateful, the 5,000 families you saved or like the 5,000 families you damned? And I feel like people who are pissed are usually more vocal than people who are happy or supportive or what. Anyway. Alright, here we go. Let me pull up another question. Okay, here's a goofy one. What is the sexiest and least sexy name? I'll cool with the deep questions. That's fine, dude. Like the deep questions are fun. It's fun to talk about, but we'll just kind of mediate it because the goal is to have a chuckle, and you can't have a chuckle if you're having an existential crisis.
Oh no, worst female name is Gretchen. Like there can be hot Gretchens, but I mean that's downright. Oh my god.
I think
and whoever decided the Gaylord was a name needs to stop.
Should be taken off the gene pool.
Like,
I think I don't. Okay, so for guys, I think Sean is like Sean spelled like Sean, like Sheen. I think that's probably the least flattering name. Like you can't be intimidated. You can't be like, you better watch out, or my boyfriend Sean's gonna beat you up. You're like, no, he's not. Sean ain't gonna do shit.
I mean, aside from like Bryce Harper, Bryce is
Bryce is a pretty bitch name too.
Like I imagine like
like the most like generically like really pasty white man nerdy names. Bryce. I would say Sheldon, but there's too many like geeky chicks who'd be like, oh, from I don't know what's that shitty show? What's that show about dumb people? I mean, it's about smart people for dumb people.
It's Big Bang.
Yeah. Did you ever see it?
There's actually a show now called Little Sheldon.
I know. It's
Horrible spin-off.
It's really hard to stomach that.
Cringe.
So it's the fucking worst. Thinking about it will ruin my day, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty piss poor. Just like they continued 2.5 Men without Charlie Sheen.
Well, they fucking tried to continue that 70s show without fucking Adam Pitcher and the dude who plays the main guy. Like, two of their main characters dipped out and they're like, we'll give it a go. Be like, oh man, you gotta call it after that.
That was pretty bad.
Alright, Ben, I'm gonna leave you with something to entertain the bitches. I'm gonna go get something to drink. What's something that's gonna take you like 45 seconds to answer? Okay, here we go. What kind of cult would you like to start? Explain that and I'll be back.
Alright, so a cult that we could start here. Well, I mean, I could go with like a sport. I feel like Dr. Pepper Cherry does not have enough love in this world anymore, and Dr. Pepper Cherry Vanilla, I think, is probably the most underrated soda, in my honest opinion, in the entire world. In terms of, you know. You don't really ever see it at, you don't see it at stores anymore unless it's like major chains in major cities. Years and years, where it was just in like 12-pack cans, and I used it all the time. And then like now, the only place I've known to see it at is Burger King. I was talking about a cult for Dr. Pepper.
Fucking dude, Dr. Pepper's fucking gross. Keep me out of that one.
Yeah. Oh, you know, actually, Dr. Pepper did also come up with the worst abomination of a soda. I will give you that. That was Diet Dr. Pepper cherry chocolate cake. And that was so bad, it almost actually ruined Dr. Pepper for me, and that's my favorite.
Okay, here's one. If you were a mad scientist, what scientific experiment would you run if money and ethics were not an issue? I would try to make myself into like fucking Goro, or maybe somebody else. I'd try to give me like 4 controllable arms. You know, not just 2 like fucking limp appendages. Like I'd want
like
4.
Are we talking something for personal gain?
I don't know. It's vague. You know, you pick. I would just say I think I would try to make a 4-armed functioning person.
I would want to be able to test. Basically, it would be like cyborg type, like so like, you know, like it would have like living essence parts to it that like.
1 second, I'm gonna take a phone call. Just 30 seconds.
Like, so, like it would be like nanobots. Like would essentially be like an additional antibody, but I mean like you would like input like a specific like what they're looking for, a certain like genome or cancer go within your body, attack all of that, and then you could basically once you're 100% clear and better, be able to check this out. Turn off a switch and then it's like ability to get in here.
Here's one that I made up on the top of my head in that 5-second phone call. What supervillain do you most identify with?
Supervillain?
I'd probably say Dr. Ozymandias from The Watchmen. Like, yeah, he's like just a fucked up billionaire, but like in his own fucked up way, he's just trying to save the world, and he's using all his resources to do it.
Villain. Oh God. I mean, I think. God, he's not even a super.
And chat, you can feel free to chime in on some of these answers if you got a clever response or wanna partake more than just proposing questions. But otherwise,
I mean, I could see like I hate staying on like super general stuff, but I mean like General Grievous, like it sucks. He was put in like shitty situations, and he is where he is at that.
Well, and he kind of got screwed.
He's trying to get better. Like
well, like, and if you
get himself into like a higher echelon and whatever.
Well, also, and I'm not huge into like the whole like, oh, it happened in the book shit, but like the fact that he kind of got like tricked into becoming like a fucked up, like he was a pretty honorable general, and then like he got fucking injured really bad, and Duke was just like,
on purpose though by Sidious.
yeah, like or Duke, I can't remember which one, but yeah, where it's just like.
Yeah.
But it's just like, he's just like, okay, fine, you can make me a cybernetic, cyborg, but don't fuck with my brain. And the first thing he did was fuck with his brain.
But he's trying to like he's applying himself to what he's doing. He's trying to be the best at it, It's like he doesn't know any better. I will be right back, so think of something for like 20 seconds.
I'll take a question without you then.
Alright, I'm back.
Okay, here's one. If you were transported 400 years into the past with no clothes or anything else, how would you prove that you were from the future?
Depends where you are.
Yeah, I guess if like you're in fucking a place
if you're in the middle of Africa or Asia,
yeah, just your fucking presence.
A dupe.
Or just your presence there, like if you just fucking appeared, like landed like at their place, they'd be like, "Who the fuck's spaceman?" Like some places, I think your presence alone would be enough, but like if you landed in like the fucking Renaissance Italy, they'd be like, "I don't believe you," and then you'd kind of be fucked.
There was like this I haven't Snopchat, but I always see it on Facebook every now and then. It's like these like two green-skinned children like wound up like they got found. 14 or. And one of them died shortly after, but like the other one was talking about how they're from like a different planet and they didn't originally speak the same language as like anybody else from the time. But they had,
Chat says that. So for that last one, you should find out when it is and then tell them something that happens before. That happens before it happens.
Yeah, but how can you go about telling them that if you don't speak?
Well, okay, let's assume you can speak their language. But the issue is that how do you articulate that you're correct and not just some fucking crazy nut,
Like you're talking like 400 years ago, you could be considered a witch.
You probably just get fucking murdered. Like, yeah, that'd be you're probably right because you're probably like, okay, let's say it's right before a famous king gets assassinated. Like in 3 years, this dude's gonna die, and then he gets died, and they're like, oh, okay, so you get it. Time for you to die.
What if you just wrote down a book, and then like?
What's if that's Nostradamus? What's if Nostradamus was desperately trying
to? That's exactly what I was going after right now.
Damn, dude, beat you. Yeah. Fucking Nostradamus is delivering that tobacco right now.
Yeah, except for his stuff is so generalistic. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, well, Nostradamus said this.
Oh, yeah, like, you see the ones where it's just like...
a bad thing will happen this day, but I don't specify the act.
Well, like, obviously there is some degree of, like, I think I was watching one where someone said he predicted 9/11. And so they looked at they're like, oh, here is a before, it's like, and it shows this place burning, and it's like a wood house, like, but in Nostradamus' time that was like the pinnacle of buildings, and in our time the trade centers were. You're like, like I think you can reach really hard.
Those are people that are reading into stuff that they want to see.
That's the same thing I always had with like art
they're
history.
Looking for it.
I remember in AP Euro or something, like, there's this really famous painting of, like, a harbor, of, like, an American harbor, and there was, like, a white boat or something in the background, and everyone's just like, that's representative of Roosevelt's white fleet. I'm like, I feel like that's a stretch. Like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but, like, white's a pretty fucking common color of a boat. Like, it could just be a white boat. Like, if you want to look into it, fucking Hungry Hungry Caterpillar is an allegory for the Vietnam War. Like, if you want to dig deep enough and just make up shit, like, Anything could fucking happen. That's kind of the issue I have with like some of that high analysis, like deep, So I don't know.
Well, that's like the Catcher's Rye or whatever the fuck, like.
Catcher in the Rye,
You get those crazy people. Rye, whatever. Like John David Chapman or whatever the fuck. The guy that killed John Lennon.
Mm-hmm.
Like he read that book and basically laid out that like. Well,
You cut out. Oh.
it depends upon what you read in out of thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I think my issue is that there are some stories very obvious. Use one word to sum up the internet. Fucking toxic. I don't know.
Use one.
What?
Damning.
Damning. I heard this new song at work. I've been jamming into it really hard.
There's like a mashup of Intergalactic. Night City by M80. Midnight Galactic. Heard it. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Oh, what are you doing?
Focusing on that drawing for a second.
Oh, okay.
Ew!
What? What is ew?
Ew, just expression of disgust.
Well, I realize it's saying that. Yeah.
So how do you feel now? Do you feel your question was good? What would be the worst buy one get one free sale of all time? STDs.
Oh my god.
Pretty fucked up.
I mean, buy one get one free. Pork rind? I don't.
Fucking buy one get one free. Fucking horrific family loss.
Or I know in China they have canned air like it comes with.
Okay, we're gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna end the recording. Just because I'm not sure how big the files are gonna be, and I want to make sure I have that all squared away. And I think we're coming at about that 45-minute hour. I'm gonna continue the stream, but I'm gonna stop the YouTube recording. So yeah, after this question, I'll give you a kind of little closer up. I'll end the recording, and then we'll go back to the normal stream, if you will. Here we go. Age-old question. Perfect one to end on. Ben, a.k.a. Richie Rich, is a hot dog a sandwich? I know how I feel. What'd you say? Can you repeat it? I didn't put up.
Oh, I was saying it is not a sandwich.
Okay, I agree with you. So let's play devil's advocate. I'll be the devil's advocate. Oh, so chat says yes, it is. I don't agree. Okay, so chat says it's a sandwich defined by something that is between two buns or two pieces of bread. Is that what you define a sandwich?
Is an ice cream sandwich a sandwich then?
I don't think ice cream sandwich like pieces are bread. Are they?
Yeah, but in the name is sandwich.
I guess, but okay. So I think the way I describe it is a sandwich is something where the individual. Okay, this is how I've always articulated it in this age-old conundrum. A sandwich, the items cannot be eaten traditionally, like separated. Like you can't just eat fucking deli ham. You can't just eat fucking slabs of iceberg lettuce. You can't just eat a fucking slice of provolone cheese. If you take away the bun, you can still eat a hot dog. Pretty realistically, pretty commonly. So that's kind of where I make that distinction. Where like a sandwich, well, obviously you can physically, but like I think like a sandwich is kind of defined by if the objects are you know, contingent on being constructed or eaten, you know, as a combination. So I guess in that argument you could maybe say like a chili dog is closer to a sandwich. What if you have ham and cheese? Fuck. See, I don't know. See, this is where the conundrum comes in.
Then you don't have a sandwich.
I don't see. I don't know. Cheese is fine to eat alone, but I don't know. And maybe I think a hot dog is too. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe a sandwich requires more than one additional ingredient. You know, like I guess you have a hot dog and then you can argue condiments.
Well, I mean, you can have like a,
you know, chili dog or Chicago dog or whatever. But I don't know.
yeah.
I don't think we answered this one very well.
I don't think it's a sandwich.
I don't agree. I agree. I don't think it's a sandwich, but I can't really fight against.
Is a hamburger a sandwich?
Yeah, okay. Are we saying then, if we get to that vague, are we saying that the only thing is a sandwich is something that has a deli meat or something that has a direct deli meat substitute for like a vegan free?
I mean, for me, I guess what confines
Because like a meatball, like would you consider a sub a sandwich?
It's gotta be horizontal. I like to think that like in terms of just like looking at it, like a sandwich is horizontal.
What the fuck does that mean? You can put anything horizontal.
Well, I mean like a hot dog, like it's fucking like the buns are on the sides, not top and bottom.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, it's
that's
stacked.
how I look
it's
at
stacked
it. Like just
vertically.
basically, that's
So
how I.
okay, so
yeah.
would you consider a hamburger a sandwich?
I mean,
It's like a cooked beef sandwich, I guess.
that's what it is. I mean,
It's hard. That's a hard one. That's a hard one to go on.
I mean, like,
I guess.
that's a sandwich.
I guess. So, definitely, I think that this is going to be our first YouTube video. It's a little crazy to call out for, you guys decide in the comments. But, it's for the fucking 4 views our first video will get. Leave your comment, man.
Yep.
What do you think? What, if you had to articulate, if you had to articulate in one sentence, you don't get 2, you don't get 3, you don't get a phrase, you get one sentence, articulate what it is. Like, if you had a stat sheet, if you had a scientific document, what is it that defines a sandwich? There you go. Alright, so anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Jack, here with Richie, hanging out with the Twitch chat. Just doodling. Today we're working on the Hulk. Next stream, I'll try and take off where I have, if I don't work on it too much after. But thanks for watching. Smash that fucking like button! I'm just kidding, don't do that. That shit's embarrassing. I hate when that happens. You ever put YouTube videos like fucking begging for the like or subscribe? Like, subscribe, follow, come onto the Twitch if you want, if you enjoy it. I'm not gonna ask you to. You tell me if you liked it. Alright, I'm gonna turn off that recording. Bye, Felicia.